Good morning and welcome to GrainTV.
Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV today.
Cody, what's your favorite number out of this morning's garage of data?
Yeah, I'd say that. Good morning and welcome to GrainTV. Today is September 6th. So hungover from a rugged payrolls report on Friday and renewed sovereign debt concerns in Europe, gold is trading at 1908. The Dow plunges 275 points on the open. Corn is trading down 5, beans down 17, and wheat down 9 in the overnight. Brock, can you give us a little bit of a state of the grains report this morning?
Yeah, basically we were looking for some beneficial rains to come across the Midwest over the weekend. Didn't really see it. Saw a little bit of a spattering in Texas and Oklahoma. Nothing real significant there, but if we look at the crop moisture right now, what I'm looking at is we see a dry Minnesota and southern Illinois area. They're looking to continue to fill their soybean pods right now. It doesn't look like the moisture is going to be adequate to help them along. But in South Dakota and Nebraska, we're looking at it's pretty moist there. Their crop should have a strong finish to the end of the season here. We've got a couple more weeks left. But actually, North Dakota is struggling with problems of being too moist. They're trying to get their their spring wheat out of the fields right now, and they're actually struggling to get that done. Make sure you tune in on Thursday to get a full recap of the crop progress that comes out later this afternoon.
So with that being said, what does the weather look like going forward?
Yeah, for going forward for the rest of the week, it looks like it's going to be warm and pretty dry for the early part of the week here, Tuesday and Wednesday. Going into the end of the week, looks like we're going to be actually pretty cool compared to our average for this time of year.
So those cooler temperatures, I mean, what does that mean in terms, I know there's some concerns about an early frost. What does that mean for those concerns?
Looks like right now we don't have any immediate frost concerns, but going forward, that's always something that we need to keep in the back of our minds as we're looking to finish this crop, get our harvest continue to roll. But right now, the biggest thing I'm looking at for a frost concern is on the full moon of the 12th. A lot of times it happens to line up that on the 12th, not on the 12th, but on a full moon occurrence that early frost does happen. So that's something to keep in mind as it pertains to grains on the weather side of things. But Cody, as you were saying earlier, today has been all about macros. We saw a massive sell-off in the Dow early on. What do you see on the horizon there?
Well, it seems like the dollar is the major concern. We saw the dollar trade sharply higher. The euro is selling off considerably this morning. Greek and lending talks seem to be put on hold on Friday, causing more uncertainty. German Chancellor Angela Merkel lost her regional election. That is causing uncertainty on the European bailout policy. Maybe there'll be some fireworks in terms of the internal politics of Germany. So there's a little bit of concerns there. Not very positive here. Well, it's very positive for the dollar, but not
right.
Positive for the European.
So that's kind of what's going on internationally. Those concerns have been in the market for some time. Maybe they're renewed right now. Mm-hmm. But domestically, we're looking at subprime lending still being a continuing problem for us here. What do you see there, Cody?
Well, actually, a top housing regulator is suing 17 lenders, Bank of America being one of them, Citigroup, RBS, the list goes on, but they're actually suing for billions of dollars in damages as a result of these banks failing to meet their due diligence under securities law. So there's a serious concern for domestic banks, but this is a global issue here. I mean, it's not just U.S. banks, they're global banks, and that's putting more stress on this whole European sovereign debt issue. It's inflaming the situation this morning, and it's certainly it actually turns out that it's positive for the dollar as people flee there for a safe haven appeal.
Yeah, and we've really seen the dollar rally for about the last week or so, getting up to levels we haven't seen in quite a few weeks actually. So it's been pretty positive for the dollar on that front.
So bottom line here, macroeconomic concerns weigh heavy on the market this morning. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back to watch the market.
How does an extra 10 to 20 cents per bushel sound to you? Sounds pretty good to us as well. So how do you know where the best markets are? Your best selling opportunity changes on average 6 to 8 times throughout the course of the year. At GeoGrain, we gather and analyze data from over 4,000 grain buyers every single day. We can guide you towards the optimal market. GeoGrain, global markets, local precision. Visit our website for a free personalized market.
Welcome back to GrainTV. Brock, the market's open here. What do you see?
Yeah, we're down a little bit sharper than what we had originally anticipated on our opening calls. December corn's down about 8, soybeans are down about 22 3/4, and wheat is down about 12 3/4. Like you said earlier, gold is up there at about $1,900, and the S&P is actually down quite a bit. But Cody, we were mentioning earlier how the whole macroeconomic issues have been affecting the dollar index. Let's take a look at the chart right now.
Yeah, just so you look at the chart, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, but notice we were trading weakness here. S&P downgraded us. There's all sorts of different issues that were causing weakness here, but we consolidated around 74 level and just rallied off that level, and now we're up near 75, 74. So not too bad in terms of macro. But why don't we take a quick look at December corn? What are you seeing there in terms of the technicals and the key levels?
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while. We've got a nice uptrend that we've been in for a couple of weeks now, and actually I'm looking at that we broke through key support levels recently, key resistance level in that 722 area. After we broke through there, we shot all the way up to 779, which I am now marking as a key resistance level going forward. And we've pulled back a little bit since then, saw some profit taking, some position evening ahead of the reports coming up on the 12th. But I'm looking at nearby trend support being at the 750 level right now. We did just break through there, but we are kind of holding right in that area. Major trend is back at that 722 area that we broke through earlier a couple weeks ago. And then major resistance right now at 779. So I'm looking at us to stay in that range of 750 to 779 right now.
Yeah, I may take a little bit of a different position on that. I think that when we break out of these areas around 726 that we tried about 3 times, I think there's a chance that we come back and we test those areas, especially when we're concerned about all the global issues. We have economic concerns. We see pressure in oil and we see pressure in equities. All those things I think will weigh heavily on it, and we could get down around 722. But
right.
Overall, the technical and the fundamental support is there. I don't see us going a whole lot lower.
Yeah, and something that came out today was the Chinese Ministry of Commerce actually came out and said that they will not be buying corn at these levels. So that's pretty bearish on the market at this point. So.
Yeah, those skilled buyers over there tossing out some news that should help their prices from their perspective.
So Cody, that was December corn. What are we looking at for soybeans?
Yeah, beans, I'd say fundamental story. It's not as bullish, but I look at this and I say we had a fantastic breakout over $14, over $14.10. We rallied higher to about $14.58, and now we're pulling back. Now we're going to test these levels. Let's see what the price does around these levels of $14. I personally think that we should find support. It was resistance there. It was heavy resistance for a very long period of time. I think it will act as heavy support here, a major support. So let's look what price action does around $14.10 to $14. I personally think good support. If you're looking to re-own it, these are the levels to do it at. That of course is all dependent on your strategy.
Right, and we've seen basically over the last week or so quite a bit of buying interest actually come into the market. Other than the last couple of days, we've seen a little bit of selling, but we did hit new highs on that contract. So I'm looking at that as being pretty supportive right now.
Yeah, the one thing that concerns me is if we see some sort of technical breakdown at these levels, the fundamentals for beans I don't think really are as strong as corn. So, I mean, we're looking at possibly a 3 billion bushel crop this year. Exports have been dismal. There's a possibility that August, we could be down as much as 19%. September, possibly, 30%. Bottom line is we're not keeping pace to last year, and it looks like going forward we won't be either.
And again, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce said that they will be increasing their imports for soybeans in the coming year. So I look at that as a little bit supportive on the export front, even though we're far behind on exports so far this year. So.
Well, I think that'll pretty much do it for GrainTV this morning. We appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 877-GRAIN-07. We'd be happy to field them. And have a good one. We'll see you on Thursday.